Alright guys, how to spot MIM, which is metal injected molding parts on a newer Smith & Wesson. Pretty much new Smith & Wessons have MIM hammers and MIM triggers, and older Smith & Wessons had forged hammers and forged triggers. Now I guess these MIM parts are fine, there's nothing wrong with them as long as they're made right, but if anybody could choose to have forged or MIM, people would take forged. A lot of the Performance Center Smiths still have forged hammers, so that'll tell you something right there. But when they started doing the MIM parts, I mean, I'm sure that there's you know, you could say, oh, this has a serial number that has a MIM, this has a serial number. It's better just to look at it and see if it's MIM or if it's forged. So we got here, this is a 1949 old pre-model, Model 10 basically, but it doesn't say Model 10, it's before they had models. It's pre-model and it's a 5-screw. And I'm going to show you the difference. Now if you look at these two guns, look at their hammers and triggers. They don't really look that different to the eye. I don't know how they do this coloring. This is MIM, by the way. I don't know how they do the coloring to make it look like the old ones. They do a nice job on these Smiths for the price. This is kind of a budget Smith & Wesson, I would say, and you know, they do have a nice finish to them. They don't look cheap. But anyway, this is how you spot them. It's real easy. If you're wondering, okay, see the back of this trigger? It's just flat and smooth. Okay? Now look at the back of this trigger. This is the MIM. See how it's grooved out? They do that to give it strength. It's hollowed out in the back. It's just not like one solid piece of metal. So that's how you tell. I mean, it's as simple as that. And now for the trigger, for the hammers, it's a little bit different. Look at the back of this hammer. And this isn't really working very well. Can you see the molding line on the back of, see that line? Let's see if I can get it to show up. There's a molding line running vertically through it. Boy, this didn't focus at all. Jeez, man. Really? See that line? There's a molding line that runs vertically underneath, and you could see it on the trigger as well. I'm not sure if you can see it on the trigger. No, you can't see it on the trigger, but you can see a molding line on the side, and then of course it's hollowed out, so that's MIM. See that molding line? Where these older ones are just smooth everywhere. They're forged parts. These guns have been safety checked, by the way. And you can see there's no rounds in there. And these older ones, you know, for the most part, if the firing pin's on the hammer, it's still an old forged part, as far as I know. But it's best to just look at it and see if it's a MIM part. You know, if it's hollowed out, that's a MIM trigger. The hammers are a little harder to tell, but it's real easy once you can see, you know, for the molding line. And you could see the molding line all the way down the back side of the hammer. And so that's really easy to spot that. Let me see if a flashlight will show that. I'm not sure if it's picking it up. I mean, it's really pretty easy to see. See that line running down under through here? It's like a molding line. I mean, it's pretty easy to spot once you see it, and it's definitely easier to spot if you have an older Smith & Wesson to look at, to compare it to. This thing, I bought it. I thought I would carry it, but it's so nice, the bluing, that it's just more of a collector's piece. And I actually shot it too. It's got real mother-of-pearl grips on it. When I bought it, it had some surface rust, and I was able to clean it all off. Still got a little rust on right here, but it's okay. But as far as like rust on the frame, I mean, it came out real clean. I mean, it's really nice. Real mother of pearl grips. When you take these off, the back side's got the real, you know what I mean? It's not smoothed out. It's crazy. I bought this little gun just for the lightweight of it. It's modern, and I don't have to worry about scratching up. It's new, and it's got some molding lines. Look at on the front of the barrel. You know, the barrel housing anyway. There's like some molding lines are running vertical. That's kind of disappointing too. But you know, the fit and finish of it is good. It's just you know, I don't like that. In fact, I was wondering if you could do an upgrade to forged parts, but I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's possible, but anyway, that's how you tell the two apart. And it's real easy if you put the two guns together, how to spot that. And then if you're in a gun store, you'll be able to spot that. And also, I mean, it's good to know because you might come across an older gun that's been swapped out. Yeah, I don't know if you could take like older hammers out and put them in a new gun. You know, so you might even see something like that where someone's got an old gun and they've put new hammers and triggers in them and taken the old ones and kept them or sold them on eBay. Because you could probably take this hammer and trigger out and sell them on eBay for a good amount of cash. You know, and if they had, you know, then put some MIM triggers in here and then sell the gun to someone that doesn't know as a 5-screw, you know, they're making, you know, extra money that way, you know. So people do stuff like that. So it's nice to know, not go by the year so much and go by looking at it and seeing what it is, you know what I mean? So that's how you spot that. You know, it's really easy to spot once you know, oh, that's MIM. You see that molding line through the back, down the back. I don't know how they get this coloring, and then you know, all the checkering and everything is real nice on the MIM parts. You know, compared to like a Ruger or something. I mean, they do a nice job. I mean, if you compare this gun to like a Ruger LCR, like one of the polymer guns, I mean, this is way cooler, way nicer, blows it away. The triggers are a little gritty when you get them, but you know, you just do some dry firing with some snap caps and get in there and lube the components and the triggers end up, you know, coming out real nice. So, I mean, you want a heavy trigger, man. It's a carry gun, and if you practice with it, you can shoot it just fine. I was at the range, and I was shooting a fist size group. I shot about 30 rounds, and just a fist size. I had one flyer, which probably was like one of the first shots I took. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, I've always despised like these newer guns with the lock and the MIM parts, but when you're carrying your gun, you know, I got an old model 37 airweight, 1962, and I was carrying it, and I feel guilty carrying it. I'm sweating on it and all this, so I got this thing, and yeah, I just try and clean it up and just appreciate it for what it is. It's modern. It's got modern MIM parts, and you know, and apparently they use MIM parts all in aircraft and everything these days, and so it's not. I mean, I don't like it. I'd rather, if I could go out right now, since I like this gun, it shoots straight. I mean, it shoots exactly how I want it. I mean, just like, you know, if you're aiming at the center of the target, you aim a little bit below and it hits the center, which is perfect, like a 6 o'clock hold. You know, and it just shoots dead straight, just how I like it to shoot. I hate when you have to, I hate when they shoot low, and it doesn't. I mean, if I could go buy a replacement forged hammer and trigger, I would spend the money and do it, you know what I mean? Because I really like the gun. And there's an Air Light with the titanium cylinder. With the titanium cylinder and the scandium frame. It's a couple ounces lighter. And it's like an M&P 360 with the hammer. I'm going to keep my eyes out for one of them if I find one of those bad boys. But you watch, and I'll go buy one of them for like $800 used. It's like $1,000 gun new, more than that. And then watch, it'll shoot low, or it'll shoot to the left, or shoot to the right. Whereas this one's shooting dead straight. And that's what I want, man. It's like I don't want to deal with any of that. So I polished that screw right there on the cylinder release, and I polished the cylinder, and I polished the whole front, the crane. Give it some contrast. So let me turn this light down. See that contrast? It was all matte before. And it's just me talking a little bit and showing the differences between the forged. Something like this is just a really little collector's piece, and find out what it's worth. And old 5 screw with the snub nose. I mean, that's rare. I think the square butts are worth more than the round butt, but I got this gun for a real nice price. I don't think they even knew. They just seen an old hunk of steel, and it had some surface rust on it, which is all gone now. My fingerprints all over it. I keep them moist with Ballistol, you know what I mean? But this is something special right here, man. And man, when I did shoot this, it shoots like a dream, man. The trigger is just unreal. Like crazy, man. The quality, the lockup is super tight. And the lockup on this gun is rock solid. Like, I mean, look at the end shake. I mean, look, you can't even see through here. Look at how tight that is. Between the barrel and the cylinder on this old gun. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, it's so perfectly made. I mean, you can't see. It's just crazy. But this new one, I mean, it's made pretty tight too. It really is, and it locks up real tight, and there's no play at all. So I gotta say, I was pretty impressed with this little thing. Even with the junk MIM parts and the stupid lock, which I removed obviously, but like I said, this is gonna be my little carry beater gun. But like I said, this thing shoots great though, and it shoots dead straight, and I feel comfortable carrying it. Now when I take it to the range, I just shoot 38 special Winchester white box. I don't want to be putting those real high power runs through this thing. I want it to stay nice and tight. I want it to stay reliable. I don't want to be putting all that shock on through my guns. I did fire 2 rounds of self-defense ammo that wasn't even plus P, and believe me, it was like wham! Was like shooting a 357 Magnum out of a full-size 357 Magnum. There was a lot of recoil, and it wasn't even a plus P round. It was just 38 special, some self-defense ammo. I forget which one, MagTech, something like that. And I mean, it had some blast to it. So, I don't need to be putting no plus P or 357 Magnum in a little lightweight airweight gun. So I just need a gun that's reliable, shoots straight. You know what I mean? That I can shoot well, and I feel, pretty protected with that. Yeah, I really do. When you can shoot a gun, straight as an arrow, boom, boom, like just a tack driver. That's a beautiful thing, man. It really is. So, and then, revolvers, you know. Well, they don't hold enough rounds. You only got 5 rounds. Well, to me, this is only 1 round short. I don't compare it to Glocks or semi-autos because I don't own semi-autos anymore. I don't want to own semi-autos anymore. So to me, this is 1 round short. And the J-frame, in my opinion, should have been made in a 6-shot. That's just how I feel. But it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, guys, I hope you you like listening to me talk a little bit here about these guns. You know. Alright, I'll catch you guys later.